I've had nearly now 40 years in electronics, in the defence and aerospace industry. I've been fortunate and had a fair amount of success. Most of that success is as a result of the great education that I got here, and not just the learning in the subject that I did. I had the luck of an association with the then Prof of Economic History, and that certainly broadened my perspectives away from engineering into more cultural things. I had not been a particularly good student and hadn't done a lot of work, and during the Easter vacation of that second year, I was desperate to get some work done before the exams in the third term. And I knew that if I went home that there would be so many distractions that I wouldn't get anything done. Professor Maurice Beresford needed somebody to look after his dog while he went on a conference during the Easter vacation. I needed somewhere to live because I had to get out of my room in the Hall of Residence because there was a conference going on there too. So there was a symbiotic need there that we satisfied. I looked after his dog, and I had lodgings for the Easter vacation. And the relationship developed. We both found that we had an interest in music, and he, during the Easter vacation, proceeded to give me a very broad education in opera, which I knew very little about. I had an interest in industrial archaeology, which I think he found a little bit quirky. He wasn't particularly interested in doing very technical surveys of old industrial artifacts. But nevertheless, we spent a lot of time, a lot of weekends, exploring the old industrial buildings of Leeds. And then later in life, and actually right up until he died, we maintained the friendship. We would meet regularly at the Royal Opera House to get together for ballet or opera, and that it became a very long friendship. So today I have an interest in landscape history, in town planning, architecture, music, ballet, and again in the feeling of that I can't possibly pay anything back to him for the broad education that I got through the association I had. So you're paying it forward to the next generation and helping the next generation come along, and that I feel that that's an important thing, that there are some really bright people coming through the university that need support. Well, in my day, of course, that the feeling was that if you were good enough to go to university, that you could get a grant. I didn't have a particularly pair of wealthy parents, so I was virtually on a full grant when I came. But these days, universities are not the favourite sons of government, and the government is pulling back because of the fiscal constraints that are applied today. And so I think that university funding is going to have to rely more and more on philanthropic support, and I think particularly from the alumni of the university, where if you look at people like myself, the whole reason that I would attribute my success was really from the education, the contacts, the help that I received during my time at Leeds. The easiest thing to fund is students. That there's a sort of groundswell that students are hard done by. That and perhaps there's an exclusion of students from poorer households, and therefore it's an easy thing to give money to. However, the campaign that the university is running is broader than that, and that I've chosen to support leadership scholarships where the highest performing students within a department, particularly in the engineering department, have been able to receive some funding to help them take their studies to a high level and even do some research, particularly during the summer vacations. But then I've shifted the funding, and I think by supporting the cultural fellowship that somebody here just may be touched and may get benefit from the support of these people that come in as a result of the cultural fellowship that we're supporting. I see life sometimes as a bit like being on a snooker table, and that the way that snooker balls can be diverted by coming into contact with another ball, And I think that Maurice Beresford was a significant snooker ball on my snooker table, and coming into contact with him took my life in an entirely different direction. And part of my desire to get involved with the campaign at Leeds is that I'd like to be a snooker ball for other people that will come into contact with me, and perhaps it has a little bit of influence and their lives will take a slightly different direction from where it otherwise would have gone.